Taking passion and empathy to express it through fine art is what Business Review is about today. We look at the business of fine art in Zambia with specific regard to women. Majority women in Zambia are marginalized, unemployed, and with minimal levels of literacy. These women express their struggles and their victories through fine art every single day.
As an artist, I survive through my art sales. And also sometimes I do a bit of art management. So if I'm hired for some part-time job as an artist to teach kids, to do workshops with women, I get my money through that. But mainly it's through selling my paintings and sculpture. I'm here to learn about how I can marry my arts with the financial inclusions that FSD will be teaching us. Most of the times as artists we concentrate so much in our studio and we forget about the money aspect of it, and that's the main reason why I'm here, to learn more how I can manage my finances, how I can market my art products, and also interact with other women, which is rare. Yeah. Paintings are not sold every month. That months which you won't sell any work at all, maybe 2-3 months, it's so dry. And there are some times where I sell something. I don't know how much. The recent one was, I think, about this month, February. I sold about 8,000 kwacha. I think it was really a good month because usually you don't sell artworks in January and February. The market picks up by March, April, and May. So it not being the selling period, and I sold that much, I think it was a good start. Yeah. First of all, I try by all means not to look at myself using my gender when it comes to my profession, because I've been brought up to think and also to put it in me that we're just the same as men. So most of the times you find me with the male artists, I'm always among the male. I've always been the tomboy, and so I don't look at myself as a female artist. I look at myself as an artist. So as an artist who is female, it's I think the market is just the same like an artist who is male. It's a challenging job, it's a challenging career, it's not easy, but we're making it.
Looking at the times in which we are, gone are the days when we had the white-collar jobs, but now looking at what the government is encouraging the youth to venture into entrepreneurship. Now, looking at art being a life skill, when we impart the knowledge in them, the skill in them, it is for life, and no one can take away from them. So when they go out there, those that are clever, they really continue with it and they continue earning a life out of it.
Are there enough people that are there to buy the art pieces?
At the moment, that is a challenge. We don't have market out there, but there are some who maybe come across the children maybe doing the work, who really love it, and ask them, can you sell me this? So just out of that, then you find that someone will be able to support them. Even myself, it is the same. Someone who will find me doing it will really like it. Rod, I think I'll really buy this product from you.
Is fine art a sustainable livelihood in Zambia? Is it capable of making a significant contribution to Zambia's economic growth? Where are the markets? What is the potential of the fine arts industry in Zambia? These questions are being answered on Business Review tonight. The purpose-built YY Art Gallery and Studio in Livingstone was established to teach and promote young aspiring artists in Southern Africa, in Southern Province, by a couple that have been in the arts for more than 30 years now in Zambia.
Art, sometimes you never know when. This is why many people don't take up this field, because you don't know when the next income is going to come. So sometimes it can be very insecure. Throughout my life, I'm now 60.
Oh!
I'm now 60, so in fact 61 if I'm not mistaken. This year in May I'm going to turn 61. So all along it's been like this, and saying in a month, that's a difficult one to say, because in a month sometimes, like this one, I've been working on it for quite some time now, but this is a piece that will not cost anything less than 50,000. this size. Okay? So when it will come, I can't tell you when the 50,000 is going to come. But this is that. The which other piece? That's a piece that is going to give me not less than 39,000 kwacha. That size. This small one. This will be like 750 kwacha. This size. Okay.
Of course. So your closing remarks and your closing comments pertaining to whether or not you feel art in Zambia, investing in art in Zambia, is it a worthwhile investment of your time, your effort, and your passion? Is it a worthwhile financial investment?
Yeah. In everything it's been, because when you look at our situation, we are not putting any pressure on anybody, like maybe talking about employment and all that. We've actually employed people here who come to help us. So we're doing a service and so on. So supporting individuals is the right way to go in our field, because as you can see, we are hosting a workshop here, which has just come as a result of just my efforts and my wife, and then other people recognize that. So it's worth investing in the field of art, because this is a field that encourages creativity.
I grew up in Zambia. I grew up near Monzi, and I've always been interested in the things that Zambian people make. And in the 90s, early 90s, 91, I came to Zambia as a volunteer, and I worked with a museum called Zintu Museum. And from that time, I've been working with women artists and artisans, trying to develop new products for artisans, because everybody at that time was making the same thing. So each time I come, I try and introduce a new technique. And I work with my friends who are here, Esnat Mwemba and Agnes Yombwe, and we've been working together since the early 90s to deepen what's happening with women in contemporary art and with artisans. In 91, when I came as a volunteer, I was told there were no Zambian women artists. And I thought that can't be. So Agnes and Esnat and I and Lori Chandia had a diagnostic workshop for women at the YWCA in Lusaka. And we gathered as many women in the arts as we could find, and we discussed the issue. Why are women not included in any workshops? Why are they not visible? And why is there this concept that there are no women artists in Zambia? And out of that workshop, we developed a plan. And the plan was to have a series of workshops just for women. No men were allowed to come. And the first workshop was at the Visual Arts Council in the Showgrounds. And we had 30 women. And we all slept in one long line. And we had a workshop for 2 weeks. And then we had an exhibition at the Showgrounds. And it was fabulous. Then we did new techniques. So we had a paper making workshop outside of Lusaka, and we had about 15 women. And we did paper making, and then we developed we had a national exhibition for all women in the arts for Zambia, and it was the first national exhibition for women in the arts. Right now, it's 25 years later, so this workshop is also celebrating the 25th anniversary of that work. And we are using the information we're getting from this workshop, and we're comparing it with the information we had from the first series of works, and we can see how far women in the arts have come, and they've come a long way.
The YY Art Gallery and Studio was the host of the Financial Literacy Workshop, specifically for women in fine art. The workshop was organized by the Financial Sector Deepening Zambia, FSDZ Zambia, to stimulate the need for financial inclusion for women in fine art.
It's really impressive for 3 reasons. One, the quality of the work is excellent. And many of these are very young artists. This might be their first workshop. But the quality of the work, the imagery, the thinking that's gone behind it, this work could go in an international exhibition, much of it. So very excited to see the quality of the work. Second thing that I'm very impressed by is how much women have understood in this workshop about financial services. They've understood about savings. They've understood about insurance. They've recognized that this is a dream that can become a reality very easily. They've understood about the nature of mobile money and that it can reach people who aren't reached now in rural areas and isolated areas, and that women can benefit. They just need to start learning about these things.
So Financial Sector Deepening Zambia, or FSDZ, is working with the Bank of Zambia and the Bankers Association of Zambia, Pension and Insurance Authority, and Securities and Exchange Commission for the Financial Literacy Week 2017. This is their 5th year, and this year the theme is Know and Plan Your Finances to Live a Better Life. So for FSD Zambia, we thought, how can we engage in Financial Literacy Week in a bit of a different way and do something exciting and interesting and engage different groups of people? So women are a really important group for FSD Zambia, and teaching them these skills of financial literacy is one of our main objectives. So our goal is firstly to just give them this information. Secondly, to have them as ambassadors in their communities, as their leaders, and they're well known and recognized as prominent members of their communities. So they'll bring back these messages and spread them widely. And thirdly, we're asking them to create art that depicts how women access financial services in Zambia, both formally and informally. What challenges do they face? What opportunities do they have? And trying to send a message and trying to start a conversation in a different way.
In the practical sessions, the artists were asked to use art to send the message of the importance of financial inclusion for Zambia. The realities of growing the art industry in Zambia are explained by the FSDZ Zambia communications expert, Nkatia Kawe.
So we thought we wanted to focus on women. As you know, women are traditionally find it hard to break through most barriers on all fronts, including financial services, banking, jobs. We can't get into all of that. But it was very important for us to focus on women because they are an important part of our society. Women take care of the home. If we're talking about the theme this year, which is Know and Plan to Meet Life's Key Events, a lot of those plans incorporate women. They take care of the home. They know when the fees are due. They know what the budget, to feed everyone in the home is. And, everyone does say that women do know how to take care of their money more than men do, And so it was really important for us to focus on women, for them to understand what their financial services are. And you might ask, why women artists? The second aspect to that is we all know that as Zambians or the world over, we learn through infotainment. So we don't learn through brochures or through presentations. We actually learn through the power of storytelling. And so our hope is that the art that has been created by these 15 brilliant women actually will tell the story of how women manage their financial lives. If you're taking care of a home and you have limited income, how do you spread that income? What financial services and tools, from a savings account to a current account to savings or even insurance, what do you use to ensure that you can, you don't go broke in the middle of the month? If you go around and look at the artwork, it's just phenomenal. There's so many stories that have been told. And one of the inspiring stories I did hear was the women themselves, after learning about financial services, actually started to call the banks to the workshop. Please come through. We'd like to know what products you have. And out of the 15 women, 10 of them opened new accounts. They called ZRA. They all registered for TPINs, which is important now. As we know, you can't have a bank account without a TPIN. So I do believe that the goal of the workshop was achieved, and I believe that these 15 women will then go on and become ambassadors for women and for financial services and general financial education. And again, as I said, I think it's really important to use the arts, or people use music sometimes, but we all learn by telling stories, and sharing these stories resonates with the public, and then the public can learn about what tools and options they have.
In developed economies world over, Art is considered a symbol of wealth, worth thousands of dollars. Zambian art today is exported and worth a fortune to art lovers abroad. Art is yet to be appreciated and recognized for the true value that it holds by both the private and public sectors in Zambia.